Let me ask a few questions, and then we'll get to Senator Reed and Senator Peters, and then we'll have a conclusion of the hearing. I want to, oh, yes, and Senator Gillibrand, excuse me for my lack of peripheral vision. We'll make certain, Senator Gillibrand, that you are called on. General, worried about staffing and operational strains at the Bureau of Prisons. This committee, this subcommittee, and our full committee has tried to help in the last several years, and there was money in the reconciliation bill, $5 billion to support recruitment and retention efforts to address the BOP's maintenance backlog. In correctional facilities in Kansas, and we have certainly a major federal and lots of state correctional facilities, but officers, wardens, stakeholders continue to hear concerns about staffing shortages, aging infrastructure, deferred maintenance, officer retention, long-term strain placed on both personnel and inmates. What can you tell me about this budget request, and can you help me understand the circumstances you see at the Bureau of Prisons in this regard?
So thank you, Senator. We were given a broken agency when we took over. Not enough money, morale was very low, and many of the prisons needed serious repairs. And so the President's budget this year tries to rectify a lot of that, as did the Big Beautiful Bill. The vacancy rate is still 20% for corrections officers. I talked about this earlier. That has to do with retention, it has to do with how much we're paying them, and creating an environment at the BOP that they want to work at. And so that's something we have to work on. We have some of the investments we want to make, $450 million to attack the vacancy rate and start paying some of our correction officers more. And then also a lot of money to make repairs. And so these are just safety repairs, but also structural repairs at prisons so that, again, it makes sure our inmates are protected and are safe, and that we're safe from them, and also creates an environment that's safe for the staff and the corrections officers that are working there. And so it's a big number, but it's extraordinarily important.
As recently as yesterday, General, I continued to hear from state and local law enforcement agencies about their desire and therefore the demand for training on drones and counter UAS systems. Kansas City is a FIFA site, yep. But that demand is significant. And can you tell me how the department is working with the FBI to address this issue? And I think FIFA is a significant component of it. But with the prevalence of UAVs, I think it's just an issue that needs to be broadly addressed.
Yes, so we're training, the FBI is training a ton of state and locals every day, and we're on the clock because of FIFA, but we're also doing it beyond FIFA because the UASs, the drones are a big problem in every single state in this country. And so we have ATF also, a certain portion of ATF also helps with the training as well at the FBI facility. And we're going to continue to do that, meaning we're going to continue to offer and provide training to state and locals. We're also asking for money in our budget to help shore that up a little bit so that we can continue to not only offer training, but have a defense to the UAS.
I would suggest that the FBI training center is over capacity, needs more officers and capabilities. And if the Department of Justice is interested in pursuing that, I'd be interested in trying to be helpful.
I'm interested in working with you, Senator. Thank you.
Grant administration, I think things are getting better, but the Department of Justice, particularly in its grants to local law enforcement, it's been a really slow process this year in getting the money out the door. Congress shut down. The list is long for reasons that could be the case, but I want to give you the opportunity to tell me that you are now positioned to see that local law enforcement in particular, but grants in general, and those grants exceed just local law enforcement. It's other community grants, mentoring grants. I want to make sure that you believe you're now positioned in terms of staffing and administrative abilities to make that process work better.
We are working on that, and you're right. It's been slow. We now have all the 25s out except for maybe one. We're starting on 26 now.
One program or one grant?
One grant.
One grant.
I could be off a couple of grants, but we're mostly finished with that process. You're right. We didn't get the number from you guys till January, late January, so we had a late start. And we're going to turn to 26 now and get as much done as we can. As you know, they're distributed on a rolling basis, so it's not as if there's no money and then a ton of money. So we're trying to get the wheels turning as quickly as we can to get money out.
Thank you.
Support journalism you trust. Support PBS News. Donate now, or even better, start a monthly contribution today.